The internet. A vast, interconnected web of information and communication that has revolutionized the way we live, work, and play. It's become as ubiquitous as air and water, an essential part of our daily lives that we often take for granted, an invisible force permeating nearly every aspect of modern existence, from the mundane to the extraordinary. We rely on it for everything. From the moment we wake up and check our emails to the time we go to bed after streaming our favorite shows. We use it to connect with friends and family across continents, bridging distances that once seemed insurmountable. We depend on it for work, for news, for entertainment, for managing our finances, for navigating our cities, even for ordering takeout. The internet has woven itself into the fabric of our daily routines. The internet has become the backbone of modern civilization, a vast and intricate network upon which our lives are built. It supports the infrastructure of our economies, our governments, and our social interactions. This dependence, however, comes at a cost. The more we rely on the internet, the more vulnerable we become to its failures and threats. The convenience and efficiency of the internet have come to be seen as necessities. We expect instant access to information and services, and any disruption can feel like a major setback. We've become accustomed to instant access to information, to constant communication, to the endless stream of content at our fingertips. This constant connectivity has reshaped our expectations and our behaviors. Our brains have adapted to this digital deluge, rewiring themselves to process information quickly and efficiently, but at the expense of deeper focus and contemplation. The way we think, learn, and interact has fundamentally changed. This reliance on the internet has rendered us vulnerable. Cybersecurity threats, data breaches, and the potential for widespread outages are constant concerns. What would happen if this digital lifeline were to be severed? How would we cope with a sudden and prolonged disconnection from the web? What if the internet, in all its pervasive glory, were to simply disappear? The impact would be immediate and profound. The consequences would be far-reaching and profound, impacting every facet of our lives, from the personal to the global. Businesses would grind to a halt, communication networks would collapse, and our daily routines would be upended. Imagine a world without Google Maps, without online banking, without social media. A world where we have to navigate using paper maps and conduct transactions with cash. Imagine a world where communication reverts to phone calls and letters, where the immediacy of digital messaging is replaced by the patience of waiting for a response, where news travels at a snail's pace, and the latest updates are found in the morning paper rather than on a screen, where entertainment means reading a book or having a face-to-face conversation. Social interactions would become more personal, more direct. This is the world we would inhabit if the internet were to disappear for a year. A world that forces us to slow down, to engage more deeply with our surroundings and with each other. It's a world that seems both alien and strangely familiar, a reminder of how far we've come and how much we've changed. A world that forces us to confront our dependence on technology and to rediscover the analog foundations of our digital lives. In this imagined scenario, we might find a balance between the digital and the analog, appreciating the benefits of both while being mindful of our reliance on the web. The internet has dissolved geographical boundaries, allowing us to communicate with anyone, anywhere, in real time. This digital revolution has transformed the way we interact, making the world feel smaller and more connected than ever before. We can share moments, ideas, and information instantly, bridging the gap between continents and cultures. Emails, instant messages, video calls, these have become our primary modes of communication, surpassing traditional methods like phone calls and letters. The convenience and speed of these digital tools have made them indispensable in our daily lives, allowing us to stay in touch with loved ones, collaborate with colleagues, and access information at the touch of a button. But what happens when these digital bridges crumble? Imagine a world where the internet suddenly vanishes, leaving us disconnected from the virtual networks we rely on. The impact would be profound, affecting every aspect of our lives, from personal relationships to global commerce. The immediate impact would be a deafening silence. The constant buzz of notifications, messages, and updates would cease, leaving a void in our daily routines. Streets and offices would fall eerily quiet as people grapple with the sudden absence of their digital lifelines. The constant hum of notifications would cease. Our smartphones, once buzzing with activity, would become silent, and the endless stream of updates and alerts would come to a halt. This silence would be both unsettling and liberating, forcing us to confront the reality of our dependence on digital communication. Our inboxes, once overflowing, would stand empty. The flood of emails that once demanded our attention would dry up, leaving us with a newfound sense of calm and clarity. Without the constant barrage of messages, we might find ourselves with more time to focus on meaningful tasks and interactions. The digital town square of social media would fall silent. Platforms that once buzzed with activity, sharing, and engagement would become ghost towns. The absence of likes, comments, and shares would force us to seek validation and connection in the real world, rekindling face-to-face interactions. We would be thrust back into a world where communication is once again bound by time and distance. Writing letters, making phone calls, and meeting in person would become our primary means of staying in touch. This shift would require us to be more intentional and patient in our interactions, fostering deeper and more meaningful connections. For businesses, the impact would be immediate and severe. Companies that rely on digital communication and real-time data exchange would face significant challenges. The sudden loss of connectivity would disrupt operations, leading to delays, misunderstandings, and potential financial losses. Supply chains, reliant on real-time data exchange, would be thrown into disarray. The intricate web of logistics that ensures the smooth flow of goods and services would unravel, causing shortages, delays, and increased costs. Businesses would need to find alternative ways to communicate and coordinate, relying on more traditional methods to keep operations running. Global collaborations, facilitated by video conferencing and shared documents, would grind to a halt. Teams spread across different time zones and continents would struggle to maintain their projects and initiatives. The loss of instant communication would slow down decision-making processes and hinder innovation. The efficiency and speed that define the modern business world would evaporate, replaced by the slow, deliberate pace of offline communication. Companies would need to adapt to this new reality, finding ways to maintain productivity and collaboration without the aid of digital tools. On a personal level, the absence of the internet would force us to reconnect with the lost art of conversation. We would need to relearn how to engage in meaningful, face-to-face interactions, listening and responding with genuine interest and empathy. This shift could lead to stronger, more authentic relationships. We would have to rediscover the patience required to write a letter, carefully choosing our words and expressing our thoughts in a way that is both clear and heartfelt. The act of writing would become a meditative process, allowing us to reflect on our feelings and experiences. The anticipation of waiting for a response, the excitement of receiving a letter in the mail, knowing that someone took the time to write to us, would bring a sense of joy and connection that digital messages often lack. Family dinners, no longer interrupted by the allure of smartphones, might regain their importance as moments of genuine connection. Without the distraction of screens, we would be more present with our loved ones, sharing stories, laughter, and creating lasting memories. The internet isn't just a communication tool, it's the backbone of the global economy. It connects businesses, consumers, and financial institutions in a web of transactions and communications that drive modern commerce. From the smallest online shop to the largest multinational corporation, the internet is the lifeline that keeps the wheels of the economy turning. E-commerce giants like Amazon and Alibaba have reshaped the retail landscape. These companies have revolutionized how we shop, offering convenience and accessibility that traditional brick-and-mortar stores struggle to match. Their vast networks of warehouses, logistics centers, and delivery services are all coordinated through sophisticated online systems. The financial sector relies heavily on high-speed trading algorithms and online transactions. Stock markets around the world depend on real-time data and instantaneous communication to function efficiently. Financial analysts and traders use advanced software to make split-second decisions that can mean the difference between profit and loss. Businesses depend on the internet for marketing, sales, and customer service. Digital marketing campaigns reach millions of potential customers through social media, email, and online ads. Customer service teams use chatbots and online support systems to assist clients around the clock, ensuring a seamless experience. A year without the internet would be an economic catastrophe. Offices would stand empty, shops would close, and financial districts would become ghost towns. The ripple effects would be felt across every sector, from retail to finance to manufacturing. Stock markets, reliant on real-time data and algorithmic trading, would plunge into chaos. Without the ability to access up-to-the-minute information, traders would be flying blind, leading to massive sell-offs and market crashes. The financial stability of entire nations could be at risk. Online businesses would cease to exist, forcing millions into unemployment. E-commerce platforms that have become household names would vanish overnight, leaving a void that traditional businesses would struggle to fill. The job market would be flooded with displaced workers, leading to unprecedented levels of unemployment. Traditional businesses, stripped of their online presence and digital tools, would struggle to adapt. Companies that rely on cloud-based services for everything from data storage to project management would find themselves reverting to outdated methods. The efficiency and productivity gains of the digital age would be lost. The global supply chain, intricately woven through the internet, would unravel. Shipping schedules, inventory management, and logistics coordination all depend on real-time data and communication. Without the internet, delays and disruptions would become the norm, leading to shortages and economic instability. Businesses would face delays and disruptions as they grapple with the sudden absence of real-time information and communication. Production lines would stall, shipments would be delayed, and the flow of goods and services would be severely hampered. The economic impact would be felt globally. The just-in-time inventory systems that have become the norm would fail, leading to shortages and price hikes. Supermarkets and retailers would struggle to keep shelves stocked, and consumers would face higher prices for everyday goods. Panic buying and hoarding could exacerbate the situation, leading to further instability. The economic fallout wouldn't be limited to the developed world. Developing countries, which have increasingly integrated into the global economy through the internet, would face severe challenges. Small businesses and rural farmers who rely on online platforms to reach broader markets would be particularly vulnerable. Developing countries, increasingly reliant on the internet for economic growth and access to global markets, would be hit particularly hard. The digital infrastructure that supports education, healthcare, and commerce in these regions would collapse, setting back years of progress. The digital divide, already a significant problem, would widen into a chasm, exacerbating existing inequalities. Communities without reliable internet access would fall further behind, while those with access would struggle to maintain their standard of living. The gap between the digital haves and have-nots would become more pronounced, leading to greater social and economic disparities. The internet has revolutionized how we consume and create entertainment. Streaming services have replaced traditional cable television. Social media has become a powerful platform for aspiring artists and musicians. Video games have evolved into immersive, interconnected worlds. A year without the internet would mean a year without Netflix, Spotify, and YouTube. The endless stream of on-demand entertainment that we've come to take for granted would disappear, leaving a gaping hole in our leisure time. This digital drought would force us to rediscover the simple pleasures of analog entertainment. We might find ourselves dusting off old board games, rediscovering the joys of reading or attending live concerts and plays. The absence of digital distractions might even spark a renaissance in creativity as people turn to offline pursuits like painting, writing, and music. However, this shift wouldn't be without its challenges. The entertainment industry, heavily reliant on the internet for distribution and monetization, would suffer massive losses. Artists and creators would need to find new avenues to share their work, leading to a potential resurgence of independent labels and local entertainment venues.